Matthew Roberts, you will pay for your crimes. Hey you guys, welcome back to the Tired Witches podcast. It is Outlander Friday, so I am your solo super anxious witch Ashley here today, as it is season 8, episode 7, Evidence of Things Not Seen. And I think we all know what we're going into here. Book readers know exactly what we're going into here. Show watchers that like to look up book spoilers know what we're going into here. And people that watched the trailer kind of have an assumption that, yeah, something bad is definitely going to happen. Now, before we dive into this really traumatic episode, if you've been with me since the beginning of season 8, you'll know that I've talked about this print shop fire plot a lot. And according to some pre-season interviews and stuff like that, some people have speculated that the print shop fire is actually going to be swapped a bit, and there's going to be a different outcome than the one in the book. So we will talk more about that at the end, but I have also speculated based on reading those interviews and just how showrunners like to do this in final seasons. I mean, anytime there's a final season of big shows like this, you can always count on a main character having a death, and I could see them changing this plot to give us that big reaction. And I'm not thrilled. I mean, the book plot line is horrible in itself. I don't want it to play out like that either. I don't want it to play out at all, actually. But that is in the book, and yeah. But like I said, I could see the show wanting to do its own twist on things, especially since this is one of 4 episodes left. That's all we have. I have been rewatching since the beginning, and last night I literally watched Fergus and Marcelly get married. So this is just, I've also been super sick this week, so this is just going to be a great combination of things. All right, let's start watching, let's react, let's talk about it at the end, and then I guess let's all bill stars for the massive therapy that we're going to have. So not only are we getting the print shop fire, I think we're getting faith resolution in this episode. Oh, wow. They're gonna just throw a lot. Okay, I have a feeling that no matter what, book readers are not gonna be happy after this episode. But I have a feeling show watchers are also not going to be happy after this episode. Let's just... I'm already crying and the bad hasn't happened yet.
Master Eamon's apothecary.
They're really doing it, aren't they?
What if it was her? Claire. Her daughter.
Is it possible?
They're really actually doing this. Wow.
I always wondered if...
William's just had a lot of bombs dropped on him lately. A lot. They actually did it. We'll talk more later, but these showrunners actually fucking did it. Wow. As if Jamie and Claire have not been fucked over 5,000 times forward and back. Wow. Okay, cool. Great job. Oh my god. They're gonna do it. They're gonna kill Fergus. Oh my god. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Not only do they kill Fergus, they did it in that way. It was super fast. I'm gonna have so many words after this one.
No. There's barely anything left of him. A body to hold.
Oh my god.
Ashes.
You've come home.
Oh my god. There's more pain for Jamie and Claire.
Is true for emotional pain. But our collective love of Fergus was with the son who was taken from us too soon. A hellish reality. Such are the tapestries of our lives. Threads of shock.
Et toi?
Stop fooling around. Pay attention. Are you?
It's a great day, laddie. Where do you think you're going?
With me, Lord?
You remind me I have something to fight for.
There you are, Milo.
Lady, you've returned. It's a miracle.
Not the flashback montage.
Stand by my hand, Fergus, son of my name and of my heart.
You
Just
saved
throw all the salt on the way.
We'll miss you too, but it won't be goodbye. Only au revoir.
And do you have a name? Fraser. His name is Fergus Claudel Fraser.
I honestly don't know what to say. I don't know if I hated the episode. I don't know if I'm just so disappointed. I'm feeling so many things right now, and I don't know where to start. I really, really don't. It is like 12:30 in the morning right now, and I'm honestly wondering if I should just kind of touch on this in the morning. I kind of need to sleep on this a little bit, process my thoughts. I really don't know what to feel right now and what to think. For a main character like that, first of all, I'm upset that they chose to kill him in the first place, but that was so fast. I can't. I don't even want to touch on the faith thing right now. I really, really don't. So I think what I am going to do is I'm going to collect myself, sleep on this, think about it a little bit, and then let's circle back and kind of talk about this when we've all gathered ourselves a little bit.
I should get some sleep.
Okay, I have slept, I have decompressed, and I have processed my thoughts a little bit. And now I feel like I have a lot to say, so buckle up because I have a lot of complaints coming. So click away if you want, because a few episodes back I had people bitching that I had a lot of complaints, but you know what? These ones are justified, and if you are not a book reader, you really need to have gripes with this too. Because seriously, we are going to pick apart this episode because, oh my god, the disrespect. I think that is the theme of this episode. Disrespect. And let's start with the number one thing, Fergus. Okay. Fergus dying when it doesn't happen in the book is not necessarily a bad deviation, okay? I have said from the beginning that because this is a final season, a lot of huge dramatic shows like this like to kill off main characters in their final season. However, the way that they did this was so fucking disrespectful to the character of Fergus and so disrespectful to the actor who has put in the work. Fergus's death was so quick. It was so over so fast. The entire Fergus Marcelly plot, first of all, was the B plot to this episode. And that is a huge complaint that I have. It is a huge complaint that I know the online community is going to have. Because why in Fergus's final episode was his screen time that much?
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the
I had a
reason?
reason.
What was the reason?
The faith plot bullshit overtook this entire thing. And I will get into that in a minute. But for Fergus's final send-off, this was absolutely disrespectful. To give him the B plot and sandwich him into this horrible fanfic plot line that I'll get into it in a minute. I really, really will. I was sobbing. I was bawling. Fergus is such a beloved character. And to send him out like this, I don't even know what to say. And then according to the preview for next week, we're like just back to normal. And that is another issue I have, because the Jamie Fraser that I know would be getting on horseback and riding right back down to Savannah to figure out who the hell killed his son. But we're just gonna let this go. This was a murderer. Their print shop was set on fire. Jamie Fraser would not let that go. That is a huge problem that I have. But like I said, the Fergus stuff was pushed aside for other things. I didn't need Amaranthus crying in this episode. If we were really going to be so gung-ho about making this episode all about the faith thing, then let's at least get rid of the Amaranthus scenes. Okay? And then obviously they had Fergus and Marcelly sleep together so Marcelly can be pregnant again. Now, from what I understand in the books, Fergus and Marcelly have twins. So then Marcelly will be a single mother of 6 in the 18th century. Wow, they've just gone and made her Violet Bridgerton. I fucking can't. Wow. You know, I understand if they switched this whole thing to Fergus because they didn't want to do a child death in the show and everything like that. And like I said, it's a final season, killing off a main character. But this was just such a slap in the face. Such disrespect. Speaking of slaps in the face and such disrespect, all right, let's get to it. The faith plotline. What a clown I am.
You look so dumb right now.
I have said from the beginning that I thought this was a red herring. I really thought, no, they're not going to do this. They really wouldn't do it. And they actually did. I have been rewatching the show for like the last month because it's the final season. I wanted to go back to the beginning. I just watched the Faith episode last week. And I think that we can all agree, I think that we are all in a consensus here, that the Faith episode is the saddest episode in the entire show. And what you just did was you made a mockery of it. You made it an absolute joke. That scene of Claire holding her dead baby, yeah, that's a joke now. I cannot believe that for a final season, this is what you decided to do. I understand that there is no final book out yet, but this is what you decide to do? Once again, great for Jamie and Claire. Jamie and Claire, who have been through hell and back, could have taken, you're telling me they could have taken a little girl home with them to Lollybrook? After all of that devastation in France, they could have taken home their firstborn child? Are you actually fucking shitting me with this? And then, this was my favorite part here. You're telling me the resolution to Faith knowing that song was Master Raymond taught it? Are you kidding me? And that this whole time, Faith was with this random lace maker across the street from the apothecary. And this woman didn't even think to ask about Lady Broctora. Like, Master Raymond gives you a baby and basically makes it sound like this is a serious issue. If I'm not back, you need to find the lady. And you don't even ask about this is just... the disrespect, the mockery, such a slap in the face of what a beautiful and devastating storyline in season 2 and book 2 that was. I absolutely cannot believe that they decided to do this. Matthew Roberts, you will pay for your crimes. A lot of people were saying last night on Reddit that apparently he completely deactivated his Instagram, like took it down weeks ago, and now everybody knows why. And what was the creative process for mushing these two into the same episode? You knew this was going to piss people off. You knew it was going to piss book readers off, and you know what? It's gonna piss show watchers off too. If you are just a show watcher and this does not piss you off, please tell me why. Because seriously, this is such disrespect to the Faith episode. And I really have to wonder, to all of the mothers out there that have dealt with this in their life and sat through that storyline, and then this comes. I was really, really hoping because they are so gung-ho about Blood of My Blood, I was really hoping that Jane and Fanny would have been like Claire's great nieces. It would have been her brother's grandchildren. That would have been better. That would have been more explainable. In fact, in Blood of My Blood, when Julia was outside of the church and she was singing to her baby, there was a woman that was listening in, and right away I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's where we're going. But no, we actually went the disrespectful mockery way. And I cannot believe this happened. And you gave an incest storyline. William has been through a lot, okay? Poor William, all right? He has had a lot to go through, and you gave him incest. That is disgusting. Now, there is one other thing that I want to touch on before I wrap up this rant fest. I did see something on Reddit last night, and I agree with this person, and I really hope this person's wrong, and I think they hope that they are wrong, but based on the direction that we are going now with 3 episodes left, I think it's very clear we're going to have a very disappointing Game of Thrones ending here. I think after this episode, it is very clear as day that is the consensus. And someone has theorized on Reddit that if you go back to the first episode of this season, and they are talking about what happened to Jane and Fanny's parents, they said that they felt overboard on a ship. And some people now are theorizing that Faith will show up on the Ridge. And I could totally see it happening. And that is the ending that we will get. I really don't even know. I don't know where we're going from here. 3 episodes left. From what I understand, after next week, there will be a 1-week hiatus before the final 2 episodes. I also understand that Diana herself has written episode 9, but I also understand that apparently they went back and took things out. So I really have no hopes whatsoever for a great final season. Any excitement, any momentum that I had for the last several weeks going, all went out the window with this episode. All of it. I don't even know if I want to watch the final 3 episodes. 3 episodes left to cover King's Mountain, the Lord John kidnapping plotline, Captain Richardson. I still need resolution for Rob Cameron, because please tell me that was not just a throwaway line. Oh yeah, I took care of him. No, let's give me more of that. 3 episodes left. And like I said, based on the trailer, we're just right back to our daily lives next week. Give me a fucking break. Anyway, you guys will have to let me know down below what you thought of this episode. If you are in the minority and you really enjoyed this episode and you really enjoy this whole Faith twist, please let me know down below why. I mean, I give you kudos. I really, really do. But book plot aside, this is just such a slap in the face to what was a beautiful and devastating episode in season 2, really. Anyway, I will see you guys next week for episode 8. We'll see what my mood is. I'll probably just be sitting here vibing. I don't know. we'll be here. Anyway, I will be back on Monday with Olivia. Until then, make sure you follow the Tired Witches podcast on Instagram for all of our posting schedules and everything like that. Follow me at Archives of Ashley on Bookstagram for all of my stuff. I post a lot of Outlander and historical romances. And anyways, like always, I will see you guys on Monday. Bye.